visits, and I challenge you to embrace this role confidently, to know that your dedication and leadership in this area can actually drive meaningful change and transformation. Thank you for joining me today on this insightful exploration of site visits. Remember that your efforts as a chief of party can be instrumental in maximizing the visibility and impact of the work that you're doing for USAID. Until next time, this is Dr. D signing off. Have a great week.
Thank you for tuning in to Chief of Party to Chief of Party, Success in Your First 90 Days, your go-to source for insightful, actionable guidance that can shape the success of your project. Let's continue to drive change and create impact, one USAID-funded project at a time. Welcome to Chief of Party to Chief of Party, Success in Your First 90 Days. As you navigate the USAID landscape for the first time or seek to sharpen your skills, we're here to provide the guidance you need to address the unique challenges of this role. Host Donna Vincent Roa, an experienced Chief of Party, will inform and inspire your journey.
Welcome to today's episode on fraud and corruption. I'm Dr. Donna Vincent Roa, and today we're going to talk about steering the helm of a USAID-funded project and navigating a landscape brimming with opportunities and obstacles. Amid the most formidable challenges you'll face is mitigating fraud and corruption risks. It's a reality that can undermine the very foundation of your mission, yet it's a challenge that, when met with integrity and savvy, you can strengthen your leadership and your project's impact. Imagine you've just stepped into your new role. The stakes are high, the expectations are even higher. You're not just a leader, you're a steward of resources, a guardian of ethics, if you will. In this role, you're tasked with creating a culture of transparency, a culture of accountability. Yeah, it seems like I talk about culture a lot, and I do. It's the bedrock of successful projects. I actively cultivate and protect the culture of the partnership's incubator. Frankly, it's the heartbeat of my project. And that culture includes establishing an ethical standard that supports a fraud and corruption risk mitigation mindset and strategy. We need to set the tone at the top. Our actions, our words, they set the benchmark for ethical behavior within your team. Now let's delve deeper. You're building more than a project. You're building trust. Work hand in hand with your home office team to establish clear policies that define acceptable practices and procedures. But don't stop there. Communicate these to your staff. Ensure that every team member understands not just the what, but the why behind each policy. This clarity turns rules into shared values. Engage your team in regular training sessions. They're an investment in your project's integrity and your team's empowerment. When people know what to look for and they feel supported in speaking up, you're going to create a frontline defense against fraud and corruption. But what about the day-to-day? You need to implement robust monitoring and evaluation mechanisms. Data is your ally. You want to use it to identify patterns that raise red flags and spot those anomalies early. Remember that technology is a tool, but it's your critical thinking that's going to make a difference in this setting. Now, here's where it gets real. When you encounter fraud or corruption, act swiftly. There's no room for hesitation. This is where your leadership shines. Put in place the structure to conduct thorough investigations. You want to collaborate with the right authorities, and you want to enforce the consequences. This isn't just about fixing a single issue. It's about reinforcing a culture where such behavior can take root. As a chief of party, be known for having zero tolerance for any fraud or corruption. Now consider the broader landscape. Your project doesn't exist in isolation. go ahead and forge partnerships with other chiefs of party. You want to share best practices. You want to learn from each other's experiences. There's strength in numbers, and a collective approach to mitigating risks can have a profound impact. So, what's your path forward? Well, it should be paved with vigilance, integrity, and commitment to doing the right thing. It's about being a leader who doesn't shy away from those tough conversations, who isn't deterred by complex challenges. What if your legacy as a chief of party isn't just the success of your project, but also the ethical footprint you leave behind? How will you use your leadership to not only achieve excellence, but to elevate those around you to do the same? As we wrap up our time together, I want you to remember this. The true measure of success for a chief of party isn't just found in the milestones that we reach, but in the integrity that we uphold. You have the power to shape not only the outcomes of your project, but the standard of conduct within the international development and humanitarian